Episode 158. I'm Alex Sparky 3. I hope you're having a phenomenal day today, whether you're watching this live, watching after the fact, or listening to it after the fact. I appreciate the hell out of you. No Zach at the moment. He should be calling his way, but we do have John in the studio. John, what's up? How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing okay. We kind of just had to hard cut our conversation.
Yeah, we really did. we were talking about the Royal Rumble with WWE coming up in 2 weeks, and it's just like, all right, start the show.
Yeah, it's like otherwise we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, basically, it's like it wasn't gonna stop. All right, let me fix your camera a little bit here. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you don't look like you're 10 million miles away. There we go. Anyway, so 158, full transparency. It's gonna be one of those episodes.
We're here.
Yeah, it's going to be an episode where we just kind of talk about a couple key things that happened this week in the news. There's some interesting stuff, I guess. Some kind of questions here or there. Let's see. So for starters, the Lost Crown. I think I put Sands of Time on the script. I did. Lost Crown demo, that came out. I played about like an hour of it, so I'll briefly chat about that as well as previews for it. Suicide Squad early previews came out. Oh, buddy. Talk about that in a bit, too.
It's going to be a game.
It's going to be a game. That's the best way to put it. Let's see. Potential Switch 2 release window leaked by a company making a comeback. I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't think that's accurate, but we're still going to chat about it. And then something I thought was pretty interesting, which kind of further leads up to like, all right, yeah, the Switch 2 is coming. A lot of Switch games going out of print. A lot of Switch, including like one that just came out a year ago. So it's like, okay, I mean, they got enough copies in the wild. You can still buy it and stuff, but it's still interesting. I got a pretty interesting list we'll go through. And then, I don't know, we'll figure it out, especially when Zach gets here.
Yeah, when Zach gets here, I think me and him got something we could talk about.
It's just going to be a lot of rambling. I'll be honest. It's one of those weeks. But if you could, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, whatever your platform allows. We'd appreciate that. As well as go over to Agent Inc., pick up a jersey because they're super cool. Referral link down below, as well as Rogue Energy referral link down below. Promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off. Join the Discord as well. All right, switch to me and John. There you go.
I know you got it in the weekly wrap-up.
I got it in the weekly wrap-up, whatever you're going to say.
And I know probably going to mention it again at some point when Zach shows up. But Pal World.
Pal World.
we got the release date for early. Is it early access?
It's early access. Like we predicted.
Yeah.
I think you two predicted that.
I mean, it just makes sense with this.
Next Friday,
January 19th.
Next Friday.
Very, very exciting. It's funny. I mentioned it to one of my buddies, and he started looking it up because it was right when we heard about it, and I was mentioning it to him all excited, and he just looked at it. He goes, "You know that game's gonna be terrible," and I went, "It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, and that's all that matters."
And it's like he was kind of talking about it, and I was like, "It's gonna be fun." He goes, "You know what? This looks like a game that you would get excited for."
Hey-o!
Hey, it's Zach.
Zach's here. Pal World next Friday. It's gonna be great. Can't wait. You're not on camera. Go ahead and sit down.
He would have stood there the whole damn time just to spite you.
I know. Got Zach in the studio. Zach, how you doing, buddy?
I got a 40 caliber ready to shoot every motherfucking one.
He's ready for Power World.
It's like I was telling him, I was right after it got announced, I was in a server with one of my buddies. I was telling him about it, and he's like, "You know that game's gonna be terrible," and I went, "It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be the best thing ever."
I was like, "It's gonna be fun." That is what I'm expecting out of this game.
Yeah, it's just a jolly good time. I mean, I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's just going to be
at this
stupid
point,
fun.
it's going to be better than Suicide Squad.
It's going to be better than Suicide Squad, and like I already said, it's going to be a lot better than Tim, which tried to come out. And it did, and it didn't. It just didn't live long. No one talks about it.
It's very funny because I checked out whenever the announced trailer came out as well and was hyping it up in one of the servers I'm in, and
for Pal World.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the other people in there, she was like, "Yeah, I've been watching it as well, but this developer, they're known for coming up with weird concepts, but not pulling it out." And I went, "Well, we'll find out next Friday." She went, "What?" I went, "Friday."
Yep. Next Friday. So looking forward to that one. It is going to be on Game Pass. So
Yes.
shout out to that.
Very exciting.
Yeah, that is a very exciting thing. It's on
I'm
Game
still
Pass.
probably going to buy it.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's like
Support them, support
Yeah.
the sport.
It's like
I get it.
I'll probably like load it up on Game Pass, give it a shot, and then turn around and buy it.
Yeah. Then next Thursday, Lost Crown comes out. Demo's out now.
Yep.
Grand Blue Relink is also got a demo out now on PS4, PS5.
I'm gonna be honest. I never expected that to get a second game.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter/X are saying the same thing. It's just like, wow, we're actually seeing this game come out. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually happening.
Yep.
Holy crap! So no, Power World is going to be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to jumping into that next Friday, and I'm assuming we'll be chatting about it next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, we'll be chatting about that next Saturday. I plan on buying Lost Crown next Thursday as well. Like, I've got the demo. I didn't play much. I played like an hour. But the reviews for it are exceptional, though.
That's good.
Exceptional. Like, I mean, from major like publishing outlets, I mean, you're getting like 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, 4 out of 5s, 5 out of 5s, everything like that. Content creators who got the code from Ubisoft, they're saying that, hey, this is legitimately like one of the best Metroidvania games I've played in a few years. One that they would replay, 100% recommend, stuff like that. And I've seen some people was like, wow, Ubisoft actually released a good game. Holy shit. And as soon as I saw that, I started thinking, I was like, when was the last time they released a good game? Like one that's like critically acclaimed, everyone loved, because like Avatar was a nuke, Far Cry 6 was stale and lifeless. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think, reviewed pretty well, but it's just like it was so
an
long.
Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
It was so long, no one wanted to play it. Odyssey was apparently a shit show.
Yeah, Valhalla the game was incredibly long, and then they just kept like once a year, just kept putting out another DLC for it.
Yeah, it was
and,
the
like, new
longest running
content for it.
Assassin's Creed with content.
So it's just like, when was the last time Ubisoft released like just a straight banger? It's been a while.
I was bringing this up last week.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's been a while. I mean, it's good to see not only for Ubisoft but for just the the franchise of Prince of Persia, because it's kind of just been there. You had the game just titled Prince of Persia on the 360. You had the Forgotten Sands, which was in between Sands of Time and Warrior Within, and those did okay. Those were fine games, but it's just like no one talked about Prince of Persia to the same light as the Sands of Time
Immortals
trilogy.
Phoenix Rising.
That's right, that was Ubisoft. I've never played that, but I heard it was really good.
2020.
I heard it was super cringe, but I heard it was really good.
Yeah, all I heard was it was actually very good as well.
Yeah, I heard it was very good, but the dialogue was just filled with nothing but like dad jokes, which, depending on your sense of humor, you will love or you will hate it. One of the two.
So that was back in 2020.
All right, so yeah, it's been a hot minute. But yeah, I mean, it's being reviewed well. I don't remember its Metacritic. It was in the 80s. I think it was mid-80s, maybe upper 80s, like 86, 87. So, I mean, it's been reviewed really well. The only critique that I've seen people give it is, like, when you're looking, like, up close at, like, some of, like, the faces and stuff like that, give some PS2 vibes. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it's a Metroidvania game. Like, I think you can kind of get away with that, just as long as the gameplay is fluid as hell, like, it's fun, the combat's good. Then I think the levels are fun and everything. Like, I think you can kind of get away with that. It's meant to be zoomed out.
With the way it's framed, why are you zooming in on people's faces?
Yeah, see, that was kind of my thought. But again, that was literally that was one of those things where it's like someone was trying to find something to nitpick. Because I saw a lot of reviews where it's like that was the nitpick. It's like, I mean, all right.
Also, every time I've seen anything on this game, I've never looked at it and been like, oh, this game looks like it's like a visual marvel or something. It's an art style that, like, just about any game in a similar type of art style, you zoom in on it enough and it's not going to look great.
Yeah, it's going to get pixelated.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of just general gameplay, it feels as good as you would as good as you would hope it would. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot of fun just playing like the little hour that I've played.
Yeah.
Metroidvania games, I mean, they're really fun. I mean, my experience with it is mostly Metroid. I've never really been a big Castlevania guy. Any other games within that genre, maybe dabble in here or there. I'm mostly just a Metroid guy. I like Metroid games. Metroid Dread, I thought was phenomenal. Friendly reminder, that was a Game of the Year nominee.
Yep.
And I think Lost Crown stands on the same pedestal as Metroid Dread in terms of gameplay. In terms of overall story, yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I know the general gist of, we knew that from just trailers.
Did you get any dialogue going on in that
Oh
demo?
yeah. No, they give you dialogue, which also I like the way they handle the dialogue, where it's like a very beautifully drawn like art piece of the character, and then just text, and that's what it is. And I'm perfectly fine with that for this type
So
of game.
Hades style.
Yeah, like Hades style, or maybe like even Persona or something like that. I mean, it works for me. I mean, it looks good. It's very beautifully drawn. The game is gorgeous. I will say that. Like, people want to nitpick, like if you get too close, it looks like almost like PS2 graphics for the characters. I mean, no, the game, dude, it looks gorgeous. The environment looks great. All the moves and all the animations that you do look sick. I mean, like it's a fun Metroidvania. Like, it's cool to see Prince of Persia kind of come back into the fold. And one thing that's interested me about this game since the get-go is like the little bit different approach to the general story, where you're not playing as the prince.
Yeah.
You're playing as like one of the, I forgot the name of the warriors that they said. It's in the demo. They say like legendary war, whatever it is. You're just playing as one of the warriors trying to save the prince. The prince was taken. So like, different concept in my opinion. Like, I'm here for it. The prince was taken by someone of the higher up of their of their empire or whatever. So it's like someone they thought they could trust. It's like, why would she do this? It's like, what is she doing? So like, there's a mystery behind it. Don't know what it is yet, but I'm here for it. Seems interesting. It's different. It's different. But I mean, hey, demo's out. Check it out especially if you're a Prince of Persia fan from the past. So I'm enjoying it so far. I also did download the Grand Blue Relink demo. Have not played it yet.
Did you play the first one?
Nope. I was going to jump into this demo. Just going to dive in
It's
blind.
a fighting game, right?
I'm aware. I'm
Okay.
just diving in blind, buddy. I'm just going to jump right in. Got a demo out. Everyone's hyping it up, so I want to jump in too.
Okay.
Speaking of demos, did you play any more of was it Godfather Esports?
Origins.
Yeah,
So
he was telling me about this.
I was curious. Was that one of those ones you also saw, or did you see that I downloaded
I
it?
saw you download it.
Yes.
It was one of those situations.
Well,
Like,
it
what
was.
did- what
it
did
was.
Zach
I
find
saw
today?
I saw you downloaded it, and I was like, I don't know what that is. But then I went and I found it as well, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, this is the one that Zach found. But yeah,
I played a bit more because I wanted to test a little bit with. So this is a trial sort of opening for a game that's coming out on March 14th, actually,
yeah,
which is just Esports Godfather.
it is a like half management sim / card game.
Yeah.
Where you're the coach of an esports team, and you do all the management for like how they train, what stats that like you're boosting up on them, and like kind of what they do in their off time. And then you go through drafting for the actual match, and then during the match is the card game aspect of it.
In which the one thing that completely killed me, John, I don't know how it is, for the character models, because you have a model for your coach that you create, plus all your players and all the enemy opposing team players, it goes hard anime.
Oh, it is hard.
Does it?
Yeah, it's hard anime.
It's hard anime, and we're not like talking just pretty boy. Like, it actually has female models as well, and it has also bigger bodied men as well, and they're full anime, just like look pristine and whatnot, like full Photoshop. Like,
Yeah.
all right, this is our team.
Yep.
It fucking killed me. But yeah, as John said, that's sort of the opening part. Then the actual game part, the actual playing matches is split into 3 parts. You have the deployment phase. It's when you actually use cards which are in your deck based on the 3 cards your players have, and then the 3 cards that you have based on the hero you choose for. And then you have that phase, which is the most control you really have, and determined based on a pool of strategy points, which is usually 8, but there is card effects that can raise it.
Well, I also found out that I think it caps out at 10, and if you own, well, what kept happening to me is every time I got to 10, it would send me back into the deployment phase.
Well, yeah, because that's bullshit. Because I saw an AI go up to 16.
Yeah, because if I chose to end my turn and save points over because I didn't have anything I really wanted to play or didn't have the ability to play,
Yeah.
then it would count me back up to 10, and then it would put me back in deployment, and then I could go from there.
Okay. Well, yeah. There's deployment phase where you actually use cards and whatnot. There's the field phase, which is more or less your player's stats versus their opponent's stats, and just AI takes over.
Mhm.
Then you have the actual battle phase, which is whenever either you or the AI initiates a fight, or it's the dragon or herald fight, in which it's then a auto battler, but it's based on the stats of the characters plus a little bit of your players.
Yeah, it's based off of like the champions that you picked for them.
Yes.
And then like it's a little bit with like the actual player who's playing it and how their stats interact with it. But yeah, the match kind of plays out, like you said, in I forget what the phase is, where it's
Field.
the field phase, where it's just kind of stuff is happening, and it's just based on the stats that you give your players, whether it be if it's more offensive stats, then they'll play more of a pushing aggro lane.
Yep.
If you get them defensive farming, then they'll kind of hang back and
Which is how I played, which more or less the AI for your team, more or less, they'll push the enemy out of lane, hit the tower once, then back off.
I did the
I
opposite.
assume you went full offense.
I went full aggro because the demo. So it's basically you're creating a team and you're trying to qualify for
The league.
the league to
Second
be able
division.
to play in it professionally. The demo stops when you qualify. So when you get to the qualification point, that's where the demo ends.
Yeah, even if you have matches left over, it more or less says, hey, you can play the last couple matches or you can just end it here, in which it's like 6 matches total, I believe. 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I completed the demo at the qualification and just kind of cut it off there. And yeah, I played. It took me my first 2 matches was me figuring it out because I didn't.
That's about what
I
it
didn't
took for me,
understand
too.
what was happening until the 3rd match.
Yeah, because it really doesn't explain full well exactly what's going on. It just sort of is like, here's the basis, but doesn't actually explain really any of the mechanics to you.
Yeah, it has like a little tooltip that pops up that tells you what's happening and kind of what to do, but it's still. But I did read they have a frequently asked questions page, or like in their latest news post.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of frequently asked questions.
Okay.
And for the demo, they did lower the difficulty.
I was curious about that.
The difficulty is definitely lowered for the demo, and it's supposed to be more fleshed out. I think there will be more champions and stuff, like more champions, higher difficulty.
Oh, there's a lot more champions because if you actually go look at the pool, there's a ton that are just locked.
Yeah, but it's like more champions. The difficulty will ramp up. There'll be more options to kind of go through. It's like, but they lower the difficulty and everything for people to play the demo to kind of get a grasp of what they were going for.
Yeah, because in the description of the game, it does mention several features that we don't even get to see in the demo. Honestly, it's a very good demo for at least introducing the game to get people into it.
Did you get to the point where you got the coach's notes
Yeah, fuck that.
for like champion counters
Fuck
and
that.
everything? It's fucking weird.
So more or less what he's talking about, there's a feature where for a coach's note, for if you were an actual coach, where you can put together champions that you use or that what you feel like they have advantage on, disadvantage on, what they counter and things like that,
It's
versus the entire hero pool.
It's basically just you get a block, like a page where the champion that you're looking at is in the center of the page, and then you have 4 quadrants that are like weak, strong, synergistic, and something like I think it's just kind of neutral.
Yeah.
And you have the entire champion pool that you can drop into the different categories and stuff. I saw that and I was like, I am not fucking doing this right now.
And more or less, it's a tooltip where if someone goes hard into that game, more or less it helps you during hero pools where if you see, because the lanes are matched up, so you can always counter pick for lanes regardless. More or less, it will help you if you see your opponent pick a lane, you can then quickly go to your notes to see what character does your like top lane play that would do better against whatever the opposing team's top lane is.
Which it makes a lot of sense that they have that feature and
Yes.
stuff in there because during the champion pick and ban phase, it is 90 seconds per pick.
Yeah, so you got a lot of time
So
to work with.
you have the time to think about it and do your research as if you were actually in a professional esports game.
Like, all the features I saw just in the demo are very fleshed out, and I very much see where it's going and whatnot. I was curious about the AI because at no point did I feel like there was any challenge, and I also felt like the AI did not purposely try to counter ban you or counter pick you at all, which I don't know if they'll ever be able to.
I don't know if they will be able to do necessarily, or it may just be something where it may just be a script in it where if you kind of play the same characters every match and kind of pick that up, you may start to play against teams that pick counters to those characters or something like that, just to kind of make you play something different. But from when I was playing it, I think my average game length was 60 rounds.
That's about what mine was.
Until I qualified. The game that I qualified on, it was like 35.
See, I never mind. All mine were about 60.
Because it's like every single one of mine was like 60, 60, 60, 60, and then like down in the 30s. Because by that point, I was like, there's not necessarily a challenge to it. I'm just going to pick, because I was also playing different champions every game just about. And in the last one, I was like, okay, from the few games I've played, I'm going to pick the strongest characters that I've come up with that I've noticed so far. I'm going to throw them in there, and I had been swapping cards out for like a full aggro deck. And I was like, and I'm just going to go for it. And I mean, my God, if I didn't just fucking crush.
In which it was sort of funny because I didn't know, because it also has a whole thing where at the end of each week it does a best player of the week. Then towards the end of the month, it has a best player of the month. In which I saw some of the stats that gave like the AI opponents for some of the weeks. I went, these stats make no fucking sense.
Dude, there was some game, or like some of the stats I'm looking at, I'm like, how?
Yeah, because there was one, like it said, this is the best player of the week. They have gotten 13 kills in 45 turns. And then when it goes, then it also does a best roster of the week of best position for each one and things like that. And it would see that, do that. Then I'd be up against that team and they'd be like 0-3 and 1. How the fuck?
Well, it was funny because like during the training section, you basically just get a 4 blocks for each person in like rows and columns, and you get different training blocks that you can put in there to train their stats up however you want them to. And it's funny because at first I was trying to focus on my bottom lane. I was like, I'm gonna make this guy I'm gonna make the most aggro bottom lane carry, like ADC player that I could possibly come up to. And I tried that for like the first 2 weeks, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, I'm throwing everything I got at my bottom lane here. My top laner's fucking crushing.
Dude, my top laner was strong too.
So it's like I kind of swapped it out. But I hit the like stat or like the
blockage.
The blockage, because they have a limit to the amount of stats they can have.
Then you can give them a breakthrough goal.
Yeah. So it's like then you can give them a breakthrough goal. And it was funny because then my top laner comes back and he's like, man, I feel like I'm the most underperforming player on the team. I'm like, dude, you just in that last game, you got MVP by 90% of the votes.
Sorry, man. I just think I'm really underperforming.
You solo pushed the entire top lane, and then I had you come in and kill the rest of their team.
I just think I'm underperforming, coach.
And it's like participate in 8 kills. I was like, yeah, fucking do that. You'll do that in 1 game.
Yeah, no, I sort of had a similar thing because I do sort of like the in between match little moments they have, because I don't know if you got one. I got one where my jungler came to me and they were just like, yeah, no, in my ranked training games I've gone up against this person. He just, anytime I mess up, he just puts a question mark, and I just went, well, when we win, just have the whole team put question marks.
Yeah. It was funny because I didn't really focus on anybody, but eventually my top laner, and I was trying to do my bottom laner, like my AD carry. Yeah. But then just throughout, by the time I was halfway to qualifying, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I've got the best fucking jungler on the planet my team. So I was like, and it's like I had a thing where my jungler was like holding a tournament, like a 1v1 tournament.
Yeah.
And people are coming up playing. It's like, do you just watch, pretend you're a player, join in that? I'm like, I'm just going to sit over here and watch this bitch go to town. Goes on a 20-game win streak, comes back. I'm like, it's like the champion, I ended up having him play every time. It's like I just let him run over the games.
So did you have your jungler do a bruiser character or assassin character?
I don't know what it was. You know, like the red dinosaur? Like the
I never
T-Rex
used him. I
one?
know which one you're talking
Thing's
about.
fucking busted.
See, I had my jungler as an assassin. I don't remember its name. It was like Kitamachi or something like that. And more or less, same thing. Just full aggro on my jungler and just had them do a gank build. And because after every 4 cards play, it automatically does 2 attacks.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
So
no, the T-Rex one that I was playing, basically whenever you go into a fight, he summons 2 smaller T-Rexes.
Oh, how fun.
So that they're there as well. But he has a card that cycles through where within 2 hexes you can select an enemy. And he goes and attacks
Yep.
attacks 3 times, and each one heals him for 15% of his health.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Alex. We could go on for because not only did they flesh out this game, they built a deep character pool.
There's a lot of champions in there that you can go through, and there's the amount of different cards that I saw that you could swap through because
It's quite significant.
because it's the decks change. Yeah, because like you said, the decks change not only for the role that you're playing, but for the champion that you're playing. And you can swap after each game. You can swap out, or I think it's after a mastery upgrade or something.
Every level, yeah.
You can swap out one of 3 cards from there, or if you like what you have, you can just keep it.
And then there's also a whole mastery system for each champion. As your players continue playing a champion, they get bonus perks towards that champion.
Also, your dad's here.
Oh, hey, father.
Yeah, he's coming in and saying, "What's up? Hey, man, how are you? I just saw you the other day."
But no,
He yelled at me. He yelled at because I told him what I was doing, that I was doing gig work. He's like, "Do you have any time for yourself?" It's like, do you do anything like for yourself? I'm like, no.
There you go, father. Get Alex.
Yeah, he was yelling at me. It's a fair thing to yell at me about.
But no, I'm gonna be honest, Alex. When this game comes out in March, John and me are probably gonna be talking about it then because
I'll make a video on it.
I'm super excited for this game.
When you guys get some free time,
because
the next week or so, to make a video.
Because honestly, when I saw it, I just looking for something on my day off and mess with it. I did not expect it to go as deep as it does.
Yeah, make a video on it if you guys have some time.
Because that was like I had seen him, then saw it myself, downloaded it, and I was like, after the first match, I was like, I don't really know if this is for me, and I was like, I'll give it another one. And then by the time that second match ended, I was like, this game is incredible.
Yeah, no, this is very much going to be those random ones on Steam that a lot of people are going to miss, and for anyone who's in the management deck building thing, this will hit right in your alley.
Yeah.
Like
I said, just make a video on it. I mean, you guys can still get from the sound of it, you guys can get a lot of content,
just from the trail.
Yeah, from just the demo that you're doing, the trial, whatever. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have some free time and you guys don't mind, just do a video on it, talk about everything in detail. We'll get it up on the channel.
Because I will say, I would be curious how your games play out, playing a more defensive style,
yeah,
versus how mine did.
Like you two both being in a call together, I'd be kind of curious to hear you guys go back and forth.
The one thing I do really want, I would love to see with this game, which may not be at release, maybe be later. I would like to see a possibility of doing player versus player.
Would be interesting.
The only
hard to do.
Yes, that was my only thing.
Very complicated.
Because the only thing I could find being a real pain in that is not the champions, but each player's actual team.
Yeah,
because that could be very lopsided if there's no limit.
Yeah, the stats for the players themselves, and at least the champion mastery is capped. But
yes.
Yeah, the limitations on the player attributes.
Because this is sort of one of those modes where I was playing, I was like, I feel like I'm doing GM mode again. I need people to go up against.
Yeah, I was hearing a lot of GM vibes in this. Listening to you guys is like, man, this sounds like a GM mode.
I attacked somebody the other day over Discord in my friends list. I saw him playing 2K23 and went, you better be playing GM mode.
Were they not?
No.
Damn it. I mean, look, if they were playing Universe, that's fine. But
no,
GM
they were just doing John Cena's story.
Oh, come on. At least go and, at the bare minimum, you got to do do a Universe.
Wait. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they've never heard of John Cena's story.
Yeah, because who haven't, right? If you know wrestling, you've heard of John, whatever.
To be fair, the story mode in that one is just all the matches John Cena got his ass whooped.
Oh, well. There's been a lot of that over the past couple of years. I'll tell you that. I don't think John's won a match in like
No,
3 or 4 years.
It's almost 5.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's been a hot minute. I mean, it's a good thing. You know, he's doing his part. He's putting over talent. You know, he's a by the book business kind of guy.
That was one of his promos he did earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Was he hadn't won a match in like close to 5 years.
Yeah,
Or at least a singles match.
He puts over talent. You know what I mean? That's what he does. I mean, shout out to him. I don't. Who knows if we've seen his last match or not from his recent run? It kind of felt like it. But
it kind of felt like it, but I don't think so. I think
he also put up like some an Instagram post, which I don't know if you know about his Instagram, but like even like his bio for it, he says that I will be posting pictures with no description at all for you to decipher what they mean. Like so, every post he's ever made he says nothing about it. It's just a picture. And after that match, he put up a picture of something. I don't remember what movie or whatever it was from or whatever the context was. That basically signified like the ending of a like career or something for a character of whatever it was. Kind of signifying was the end for me.
Well, I mean,
Next time he shows up, it's Thugonomics again.
Yeah, shout out to that.
I mean,
it made a comeback in the Bray Wyatt match.
Did it really?
In the Bray Wyatt thing.
I didn't know that.
In 2020 in the COVID WrestleMania.
I mean, the end of an era thing would make sense. He got fucking squashed.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing his thing, man. He was doing his thing. Speaking of end of an era, feels like the end of an era for the Arkham Batman with the Suicide Squad and how that game is just...
Those preview reviews haven't been great.
Oh, buddy. It's looking like a shit show to start the year.
Hey, I'm just gonna point out I saw one article that said reviews coming out soon, and they had a very positive connotation to them.
I saw
how many?
Okay, that was one article. I saw the same one.
It is the only one I've looked at.
Yeah, exactly. Everything else I've seen, I saw one article. Okay, so my timeline for it, I saw one article that was bad. It's like, ugh. And then literally the next article is like, it's okay. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll be all right. And then it's like 47 articles of like, this game sucks. I'm like, oh, buddy.
Like I said last week, me and Zach are the two people excited for this game.
You guys have low expectations. You're just hoping for the best. That's essentially what you guys have out of this game.
We got Wo Long last year. I mean, we're due for a crap one.
Oh, speaking of, that's getting like a complete edition here, like later this month. Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to Wo Long getting a complete edition. I think it was like a physical copy for it or something. I don't know. I didn't read the article, but it's getting something later this month. So shout out to that. But yeah, Suicide Squad previews. Ooh, buddy, not looking good. I even saw someone say that this game could be the one that kills Rocksteady and WB close Rocksteady down. I'm like, all right, let's not overreact too much. I don't see that one happening.
I was about to say, this would be like their first real bomb.
Yeah, this would be the first flop by them. Let's calm down.
They didn't do Gotham Knights. So.
Yeah, and I don't even think they wanted to make this game. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I don't know if they wanted to make it a live service game.
That probably not.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't want to do live service unless that's like what you really you're passionate about and that's what you go into game design for. But when you look at a studio like Rocksteady that's made these great narrative experiences, then just do a live service, it's like you can probably guess they did not want to do that, and it's just the same shit where a company wants to try to just rake in money at all times. And another thing that I saw with all the previews, I saw a lot of people just like, man, the curse of Suicide Squad continues. Suicide Squad just cannot have any good content come out.
I mean,
they liked the last movie.
Yeah, the second movie was actually all
That was the
right.
James Gunn one, right?
Yeah.
The first one, everyone hated.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Probably the best thing to say. Yeah.
It was a great theatrical experience that could make you think it was better than it was.
I will agree with that. Because I did see it in theaters versus home video.
I saw it in theaters, the first one when it came out, and you come out of that going, man, that was awesome. And then you watch it later and you go, man, that sucked.
Why do I feel like I'm in middle school again?
Your dad liked it. Your dad liked the Suicide Squad.
Someone also bought it for him for Christmas.
No. Okay.
Not this Christmas, but a couple Christmases back.
Was that you or someone else?
I believe that was my brother-in-law.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Suicide Squad killed Justice League. I mean, I'm not. This is one of those ones where it's all about expectations going into it. So it's some people, they go in, they get these games come out, and they think every game that comes out is going to be a 10 out of 10.
Nope.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a solid game.
So it's going to be a 5 out of 10. I'm hearing a 5 out of 10.
That sounds like a 5.
This is going to be
a game.
something.
We stand by our statement we've said before. We can live with a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's like,
This is a 5 out of 10. Can we live with that?
This is what we were expecting. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
like,
fair.
I'm not expecting some masterpiece. I'm expecting this to be
a beat 'em up.
like an okay kind of beat 'em up with some cool boss fights.
Right.
Hopefully, cool boss fights.
I'm hopeful that the boss fight's gonna be cool. I think some of them are gonna suck. I think
The Flash one's probably gonna be annoying.
that's the one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
By far, I think that's probably gonna be the worst one.
Yeah. That would be my safe assumption too. Then it's also going to be real interesting on narrative choices for this game. Like, all right, so like if you've been following like gaming news in general, right, or you've been following this game, then I'm assuming you've probably heard or seen the link or seen the leaks on it and stuff. And one key story moment that could potentially looks like it could happen with a certain character. Oh, that's going to piss a lot of people off. It's going to piss a lot of people off involving Batman. I'll just say that because a lot of people, the reason why so many people are pissed is because this is not just some like standalone Batman for this game. It's the Arkham Batman from the Arkham trilogy, and everyone,
what?
yeah, it's that Batman. It's the same one.
I saw the article title earlier.
Yeah, it's the same Batman. So everyone's pretty pissed if something's gonna happen to him because it's like this is the same man that like cleared like all of Arkham whatever in a single night. You know what I mean? Like this is the badass Arkham Knight. So, depending on some choices that the narrative direction
That's even
of this
more
game,
confusing for me because of the Gotham Knights.
Yeah, it's gonna
How that plays out.
Yeah, it's gonna. Let's just say this game could potentially really piss some people off with some narrative choices. We'll see. But yes, it is. That's already confirmed though. It is the same Batman from that trilogy. So we'll see.
So does this take on an alternate universe where it's just the Arkhams and not Gotham Knight?
I don't know. That part I don't know.
Because if it includes the Gotham Knight storyline, this is even more confusing.
No, Gotham Knights is different.
I think Gotham Knights is different.
Is it?
I think
so.
Gotham Knights is a different.
Even though it's technically taking the 100% completion ending of.
Yes.
Dude, look, Zach, look, listen, I know it's a video game, and I know it's like a video game story, but we saw what DC did with the movies, all right? They have no ability of storytelling.
I don't care about DC.
No, look, I'm just saying, we've seen that, like, they're all over the place when it comes to their storytelling.
So there's going to be two alternate
That's what I'm asking.
realities.
There's two different universes, right?
There's going to be the Gotham Knight series of games, and then there's going to be the Suicide Squad series of games.
Cool. We're going to get shit on both ends.
Basically.
Yes.
Basically.
All right.
We're going down a rabbit hole of okay co-op games.
Yeah. And this one is actually going to be 4 players. So shout out to that.
Oh, yeah. You're going to join me and John for the shit show?
Probably
Yeah,
not. No.
you are.
No,
Yep, it's time.
I don't know about that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Look, you guys have been like, looking forward to this from like the reveal and stuff. I have looked at this game since like I'm
You're
like,
not
eh.
gonna
Don't
play-
lie to me.
Hey, you're not going to be playing anything else during that time. Why not join us for some
Don't
fun?
lie to me. You were hyped for it at one point. I know you were.
I don't think so. I don't. That doesn't sound like
Don't
me.
you fucking lie to
That
me.
doesn't sound like something I would do. Let me see when this game comes
It
out.
doesn't matter. You're not going to play anything anyway.
Yeah, I am. It comes out the 2nd. I'm gonna be busy.
Playing what?
Persona 3.
Bullshit.
You're not actually going to play Persona 3.
Yes, I am. What do you mean?
Not right away.
Not right away.
100%. What do you mean? That
No.
Friday when it comes out? Yeah, I'm 100% downloading.
I don't say that.
Yeah, I'm.
You
Wait,
may download it.
Yeah, wording.
Hold on,
wording.
hold on. I will put money on this that I am playing this game day one. All right.
How long?
I mean, I don't know. Whenever I get off work to whenever I go to bed, and then probably that Saturday morning before the show as well.
Unlikely to happen.
I'm excited. I've never played it, and I'm into Persona now. I'm looking forward to playing this game. What do you mean? I'll put money on it right now that I'm playing this game right when it comes out. I will gladly put money on this.
On the night it comes out,
Yep.
I want to see at least 4 hours of gameplay.
Easy.
$10.
That's
Easy.
That's a lot.
So we're talking like that Friday, like once I'm off work and home and can play.
Yes.
Done. Easy.
All right.
Easy.
It's a lot of time to play in an evening.
Oh no, 4 hours. Easy. That's
Alright.
no big deal.
$10.
All right, bet. Because I'm excited for Persona 3 because I've never played it, and I've like from like lists and shit. I've always seen people consider Persona 3 like potentially the best Persona game in terms of story. I'm excited for it. There is actually a lot of lists that puts it at number one. I don't know your personal opinion, but
Which version?
yeah, that's the big question. That's the big question.
Okay.
Yeah, which version? I don't know. People. I've seen a lot of people just put like just Persona 3 in general at their top game of the series. So it's like, okay, that's cool. Good to know. 4 hours, easy, done, no problem.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, easy peasy.
I'm not banking on you. I'm banking on you getting stuck doing other things.
What? Just in the game?
No,
No.
just
Oh.
in your life.
In life.
Oh, no. I've got that date blocked for Persona 3. Okay, it's one of the games I'm looking forward to this year. Okay, come on now.
It's okay. Me and Zach, we're gonna take on the Justice League.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys go do that. I'll go play a remake.
Alex doesn't want to have fun.
I could
I'm
play
gonna have a
Persona
great
while
time.
fighting the Justice League.
I'm gonna have a great time. I don't know what you're on about. Random sidebar. I was gonna ask you about this. Speaking of Persona, though, do you maybe remember a leak from a while ago? I think we had it in the weekly wrap up about like some like Persona like celebration game where it's gonna have like all the. So there was a follow up leak on that from the person that originally leaked it, and this is the same person that correctly leaked Tactica and 3 Reload, and basically they clearly have an insider. They have a good track record. So the original leak, if you remember, I think they originally described it as like almost like Mario Party-esque or something like
Yes.
that. So their update to that leak is that it's not gonna be like a Mario Party-esque game. It's actually the way their exact reference is that they kind of picture it like a TFT. So it's like, okay, is it going to potentially be a Persona auto battler? It's like, that's interesting. Yeah, they specifically said TFT, like a spinoff like TFT from League of Legends. So
I mean,
That-
I'll touch it, but you.
yeah,
That doesn't sound good.
sounds interesting.
I would have taken more of the party games, but I mean, I see a way they could do it because more or less you would have more or less the characters. Then you could also binge the different personas for each specific character, all that fun stuff. I mean, then there's tons of other characters you could just randomly give them a persona.
Right.
I mean, I see how they could do it, but you.
Yeah. So that could be. Apparently, the game's done as well.
The
game's complete now. It's just a matter of when it's going to come out.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
You've disappointed Zach.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for, just to kind of ruin his day a little bit.
I mean, I'm a Persona fan, so I mean, I'll at least
Yeah, I mean,
give it a shot.
Yeah, he'll give it a shot, but how much he
I'm
plays,
not even a
that's a different.
Persona fan, and that sounds bad.
Persona auto battler. Shout out to that, I guess.
No.
But
I did dip into Persona 5 Royal
nice.
like in the last week.
So did you get to an actual dungeon, or was it still cutscenes?
I'm 10 hours in.
Okay.
I've been. I mean, I could complete the first dungeon whenever I want to. I've just been doing daily stuff, and
My strategy is always as soon as I'm free to do the dungeon, I do it in one go.
Yeah, that's mine too. As soon as I can get it done.
Yeah, I probably
We
could
going.
have done it in one, but I've done it in a couple just because I haven't played the game in a long time
That's fair.
and just
Yeah.
kind of been like, I'll just fuck around a little bit.
In my New Game Plus playthrough I'm doing at the moment, I am currently at Size Dungeon. And I'm at the second part of it after we go visit the courtroom, whatever, where we can get to the members floor. So currently at that part of and at this point, if I remember correctly, once you go to the courtroom, you can just finish it the next time you go in, right? There's no more stops where it's like, all right, let's leave.
I think there's one more story base where it forces you out, but I could be wrong.
Because I mean that'd be the third one then, because you get forced out twice already. Because you go in once with Akechi, and he kind of shows like, hey, look what I can do. And it's just like, all right, let's wrap it up for the day. Then you go to the next one. It's like when you get to the member floor, it's like, hey, we need to leave.
Yes.
So I don't remember if there was a third one or not. But
I may be thinking of something else. So that does sound right. You should be able to finish it.
all right, cool. Because I'm already back in it. I'm already back in on the.
I would actually have to dive back into it to remember completely. Because
Gotcha.
I do remember hers being sort of a quicker one because it is a lot of scripted stuff in that one.
Ooh, yeah. I like that one, though. That one's a lot of fun. That was enjoyable. So I'm working through that right now. Prince of Persia demo for me. And then also just been playing a random fucking mobile game, too. I've been playing Retro Bowl, college football. Yeah. Just popped up my Twitter timeline, looked fun. Download it, immediately play 10 hours. I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, what have I gotten myself into? Just a dumb little, like, pixel football game. play college football.
Okay.
I'm having fun. I'm having a great time. But yeah, anyway, I guess we'll see more. I am very curious to see official reviews for Suicide Squad when it comes out here in the next few weeks. Because, like I said, these early previews not looking very good.
40 from Metacritic.
Oh God. I hope it's a little bit higher than that for Rocksteady's sake. I don't want that on their record. At least give them like a 60. Give them a pat on the ass just for like, oh, hey, look, Rocksteady's logo's at the beginning. We'll give it some points on that alone. At least give it that, give it something. Shit. So the next thing that I had up for the main title topics here for the day is Nintendo Switch 2 potential release window was apparently leaked at I think the convention is called CES. I think is what it's called. It's just a giant tech convention. Everyone goes and shows off new tech ideas or new confirmed tech or whatever the case is. But this one really made the rounds because of it's the release window for Switch 2. But just it's not only the fact that it's that, but it's the fact of who leaked it. The comeback of Game Shark of all things.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Game Shark. But they're under a new name of AI Shark. I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go.
Yes.
But yeah, AI Shark, formerly known as Game Shark, is the one that made the leak where in like their press conference and in like their article they put out and stuff, they said that all their new products that they're currently working on and going to launch will launch and coincide with the Nintendo Switch 2 in September of this year. Now, I will say, I think a Switch 2 in the fall makes sense. I think that's one thing you predicted was that it would come out in the fall and not in the spring. I think fall is pretty accurate. I can see that.
How bankrupt do you think they are now?
Oh, buddy. I mean, a lot. I mean, they're just trying to come back. And it's just like, oh, we're already bankrupt. It's like, I mean, they've been gone for a long time.
They have.
I mean, it's like GBA era.
But all I can think is, what kind of backlash do they get from Nintendo now?
I know. Well, see, the thing is, first off, I want to stress, I think a September, October release for the next Nintendo console, very likely. I want to stress that. But I don't think they know. Like, let's be real. Nintendo is tight lip on all their...
Yes, exactly.
There's no way Game Shark of all people knows. I'm sorry, they don't.
I mean, it's one of those weird things where, I mean, it's like it's one of those oddball things where it might happen.
Yeah, I mean, the window makes sense, but there's no way they know. There's no way they know.
It's one of those where it's like, if they did know it and managed to do this, or and managed to slip it out there, it's like, man, if there's anything we've learned, it's like, you can leak stuff from Microsoft and they're not happy about it. Sony gets a little upset. You start leaking Nintendo stuff and they ruin
full-on lawsuit.
The ninjas come,
ruin
baby.
your fucking life.
The ninjas are coming, baby.
That's full-on lawyers show up.
It's because it's like, you hear every now and then about the people that leakers get caught from leaking Sony, Microsoft, other ports, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't have a good time with it. Man, these fucking Nintendo leakers, man.
They're taking their life on a whole new game whenever they do that.
Nintendo and Take-Two, they're the two most deadliest ones in the gaming industry. Like, you don't want to mess with their stuff. Like, they will ruin your entire life.
It's one of those where it's like, if I ever found out, if for some reason I was given leaks for Nintendo stuff, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Don't give this to me. I don't want my life to be ruined. I don't want to spend my life in jail.
I'd be like,
and paying Nintendo $1 million a day.
Be like, dude, I can't speak for 6 months now.
It's like, you have ruined my next 6 months. Thank you. No, like I said, I think the release window makes sense, but I'm not going to buy into they know. I mean, I just don't think they would know of all people. And then they further backtracked from a spokesman saying, oh, we're just guessing. I don't know. You sounded pretty damn confident when you said Nintendo Switch 2 in September.
Yeah.
You sounded pretty confident. I don't know. It sounded like a guess to me.
Also, I mean, the thing here is we can also kind of look at it as false because they're calling it the Nintendo Switch 2.
It's
going to be the
new
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it's going to be new Nintendo Switch or something. There's no way it's called a Switch.
I've been pitching that for 3 years,
yeah.
Zach.
There's no way. There's no way it's going to be called the Switch 2. If it's called the Switch 2, I will be shocked. Truthfully, I will be shocked. They've never done that.
Well, of course it will be, because then they can release 2-3 Switch.
Stop. Stop. Just stop. With that leak, there was also throughout this week some leaks of some specs and stuff, which also got people chatting because it's just like a lot of people were just immediately like disappointed. Like the hardcore graphics people were just like really disappointed by it. Where it's just like basically it's like 8 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, 120 hertz screen refresh rate, price of $400. So everyone's just like, all right, so yeah, basically the leaks of it being on the same level as the PS4 Pro is true. It's like, okay, great. Nintendo's once again behind. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, they're once again behind, but like that's on like the same specs as like a Steam Deck. You know what I mean? Like if they want to stay in the handheld industry, then I get hitting that bar. Because like it was even I mean, because like the thing that people need to look at is like just go back and look at when Gabe talked about the next Steam Deck and how it's like we're working on it like in terms of concept, but we're not going to actually make it because like the parts don't exist yet. Because like Gabe like openly said, it's like we want to keep it at a nice price point. Like if we wanted to make like a handheld Steam Deck 2 and it'd be like super high powered, this thing's gonna be like $1,000 to $1,200. You know what I mean? And no one's gonna no one's gonna buy that at that point.
That's the thing they got to remember is one, yeah, the Switch 2, or it's like the Switch needs more power right now. It can't handle the games that they're making for it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Switch 2 needs to be more powerful, but it does not need to be on par with the other consoles because
I mean, its own market.
It's like realistically, yes, some of the games will transfer over and they won't run as clearly they're not going to run as well.
Yeah.
But the Switch is not there to be selling games that are going to all 3 consoles. It's there to sell all the Nintendo games again.
Yeah.
Plus any other weird Japanese games that comes over.
Yeah. Besides, like, even having it at the power of, like, a PS4 Pro and stuff, like, look, I mean, I'll go ahead and call it. We'll see games from, like, third parties potentially come out for it and struggle. I mean, we'll see that. But, like, yo, let's be real. Like, that sort of power with these Nintendo, publishers and stuff, like Monolith Soft and everything, bro, those games are going to be wild for a Nintendo game. Nintendo will maximize it and make it incredible. Well, it's just the third parties that will struggle.
Well, here's the thing you gotta think about, too. We're looking at a PS4 Pro level of game. Think back to playing like God of War 2018 on your base PS4.
Yep.
It still looked fucking incredible.
Yeah, Red Dead looked incredible. Spider-Man looked incredible. Horizon looked incredible.
These games still looked incredible. It's still going to be able to run most everything. It's not going to be able to run the new modern games that come out.
Yeah.
It's like they're still going to struggle on it. But anything, it's like they'll be able to basically put anything they want to on it and it do okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like now where like you can't even put a third-party game on it unless it's like made to be like an 8-bit game.
Yeah, dumbed down excessively. We saw that with Hogwarts Legacy. So.
Oh my Christ, yeah. No, I and also one thing that I think is kind of funny when I see everyone like having the knee-jerk reaction to it, which don't get me wrong, would it be cool to have like Nintendo finally step up to power as the PS5 and Xbox Series? Yeah, it would. No. But shut up, Zach. It would, but I understand why they don't. You know what I mean? I get it.
Well, the other thing is, it's like they're primarily still making a console that you can carry around and take with you wherever you go.
Yeah, yeah.
You cannot have something that has the power of a PS5 or an Xbox Series S, X, whichever one you will look at. You can't have that and have the quality of the game be like those and have any sort of fucking battery life.
Yeah, big facts. Big facts.
Because it's like, I mean, you could do that and have a 30-minute battery.
True.
Or you can have it like sacrifice a little bit on there, put more powerful batteries into it, and still be able to play whatever you want to on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because 95% of the people that are playing that have a Switch, they're not. It's like they're not going to look to play like if it's coming out on PlayStation. They're not looking for that to be their new Switch game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they want to play that other game, they might already have a PlayStation, or they're just not going to play it.
Yeah.
Because if it comes over to Switch, you'd almost rather not spend the money on it if it's going to be that bad.
True. True.
But it's also, like Zach said, it's a different target audience.
Yeah, it is. It is. You know, with all the chatter about it, the one thing I think is so funny is that everyone's like bitching that it's like a PS4 Pro level. I'm like, man, you guys are acting like the PS4 Pro is like
Dead.
3 generations behind. You know, I thought you're acting as if it's like the PS2 or the PS3. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you know, you pull up screenshots like, look at Ghost of Tsushima, look at Spider-Man, God of War, Red Dead, Horizon. Look at all these. They look great. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't a PS3 we're talking about. You know, calm down, relax. It'll be fine. So I don't know. You know, with all of the Switch stuff, something that's pretty interesting, like I mentioned earlier, is a lot of games going out of print, which that's normal for any system. You know, games that just like go low in sales, or it's basically a crawl, they will come out of print. I mean, it makes sense, especially when there's enough copies in the wild. But then you look at the list and you see like even like a new title from just last year, exactly almost 1 year ago to this month, and that's Fire Emblem Engage, already out of print. Fire Emblem Three Houses, Yoshi's Crafted World, WarioWare Get It Together, Switch Sports, Super Mario Odyssey, Splatoon 2, Super Mario Maker 2, Battle League, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Kirby Star Allies, Metroid Dread, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Link's Awakening, Tropical Freeze, and Paper Mario the Origami King, all out of print. But there's enough copies out in the wild, so I don't think they're going to shoot up in price for a little while or anything. But to me, that tells me that okay, we're gearing up. You know what I mean? Like they're making the steps for it. I saw some people make like a thought. It's like, oh, maybe they're going to run these out of print and re-release them under like with the new box art of the new console under like a shit they used to do where it's like the Nintendo Selects whatever like that shit. It's like re-release it that way, but a little bit cheaper. Like $40, $30 or whatever as the base price. I don't know, but this is a pretty normal thing. The only thing that shocked me was like Fire Emblem Engage being on there. But at the same time, we're at the end of the Switch's lifespan.
Well,
so.
Also, it's one of those where it's like that. It's like that. I mean, you compare it to the previous Fire Emblem, like three houses, and then look at it. It's like, yeah, it's not going to be as popular of a game.
Unfortunately,
It's not the same style of game. Not as many people are going to be interested in it. People probably bought it, realized it wasn't the same type of game, and
Immediately dropped it.
Put it back
most
down,
definitely.
and then just kind of told people they knew. They're like, yeah, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's inherently going to be a less popular game.
Yeah.
I just keep laughing at Switch names over here because I'm over here. I'm like
New
Nintendo Switch, and then I was laughing because I was like, well, then if they also released one and called it a Nintendo Switch 2, then you could have an upgraded version be the new Nintendo Switch 2. So you would go from the Nintendo Switch to the new Nintendo Switch to the Nintendo Switch 2 to the new Nintendo Switch 2, and just keep going there, and it keeps getting longer and longer.
It's shit Nintendo would do too.
New Nintendo Switch, new 2.
you got to add light in there on one of them at some point.
Yeah, they like to use that word a lot.
New Nintendo Switch 2
Light.
New 2.
All right,
That's
something like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one where like
Nintendo
you'll get a game
Switch
case
U.
and it's gonna wrap around the corner.
Yeah.
that would not surprise me.
New Nintendo Switch U. New Nintendo Switch U Deluxe. New Nintendo Switch 2U.
You don't put a U on there. They learn from that.
Yeah, they're gonna avoid that one like the freaking plague. New Nintendo Switch Cube. New Nintendo Switch something. I don't know.
Speaking of Nintendo stuff, I had a fun little conversation with someone the other day of where someone asked, "Is the Nintendo Wii retro?" And I said yes.
Yeah.
And then someone else said no. And I went, "What's your definition of retro?" They said, "Anything that's been older than 20 years, but less than 40." I went, "That's fair for regular items. But from a gamer's perspective, it is retro because it's at least 2 generations back."
Yeah. Came out in
It's
2007.
two generations back, and it's also almost at the 20-year point.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2007 is when it came out,
Yeah.
right?
It's also if you wanted to go out and buy a Switch, you have to go to a retro game store.
Yeah. You
Or
mean
a
a Wii?
Or Wii, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You have to go. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean,
That was a fun little conversation. So.
It's those conversations that you hate to have because it just makes you feel like, man, time has really flown by.
I don't hate to have
It's like
it.
I'm getting old. Some people hate to have it. That's the thing.
No, it's like it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me.
I never had a Wii, so for me, that time block doesn't exist for the Wii. Period.
I mean, I didn't have one either, but
It was fun.
as one of its most expensive damn games of Rhythm Heaven.
Oh my god, yeah, that game is expensive as shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the price for it that runs online. Do you know?
Online, it differs a lot. I've seen anywhere from the standard I see in retro stores of like 150 to like 300 online. If you're buying that game at 300, you're getting ripped off.
True. But yeah, it's retro. It is retro, unfortunately. I don't think I had anything else. You boys got anything else we want to chat about? If not, we'll dive into the rest of the weekly wrap up and get out of here.
Oh, I had a fun little moment
Okay.
of gotcha luck.
Oh, here we go.
So TFT,
All right.
they have their weird treasure realm thing, right?
Okay.
All right. So they had that special Kasai one for KDA.
Mm-hmm.
One roll, one success. I now have a KDA Kasai.
Jesus Christ, that. The lucky whale.
It was a dumb shit like that.
Good poor boy. Sometimes whale.
I even screenshot it. I can throw it to Discord. It literally, because it literally says so many guaranteed. It just said 39 out of 29 out of 30 guaranteed unaccessible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I dropped off TFT. It's like I played a lot of it for a couple weeks there, and then I've dropped out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, people have found the main build in the set now.
That's the thing is like when I was playing it, it was kind of like here's some extremely powerful stuff, and I kind of dropped out when it was still play weird, like weird whatever.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, usually when I drop out because it's the only time that like the complete set like this is the meta and everyone's going to play it was like that was it 7 when me and you got really into it. There were powerful stuff, but everything was powerful, so you could still play weird shit.
Yeah. Because nobody plays disco. Disco's awful.
I tried it. Sucked. So. I haven't played TFT in a hot minute either, though. Well, anyway, you guys want the weekly wrap up? Yay, nay?
One last gotcha thing. 1999 gets an update Thursday.
Shout out to Reverse 1999. All right, let's go through it, boys. So the first thing, because I already shout out the Pal World, we already shout that out earlier, is Smite 2 got announced. Shout out to that.
Looks great. It's on Unreal Engine 5.
Yep. Which, as soon as I saw it, I'm just like, that was my first thought. It's like, okay, are they doing this so they can move up to like a better engine?
They is, but here's the other thing with it is they're not doing the Overwatch thing, so the original Smite is still going to be live and playable.
Good.
And Smite 2 is pretty much just going to be graphical upgrade plus some other stuff here and there for the most part.
Xbox, PS5, and Steam is going to be cross-play and cross-progression.
Yes.
Alpha play test coming in spring. So shout out to that.
So, yeah, it's a great move by Hi-Res. You'll have everyone who wants to upgrade the graphics, and anyone who can't afford to upgrade the graphics can continue to play.
Yeah. And like, Overwatch. Big rip. The amount of Overwatch shit that I hate that I see every week, where it's like people just like, man, I hate the fact that they closed. Like, just let me play the original game. I don't want to play Overwatch 2. It sucks. Let me play the original game. Fuck you guys. I hate you guys.
Yeah. It's the only thing with having 2 versions of the game is splitting your player base.
Yeah.
But if it is pretty much just strictly a graphical upgrade with a couple additional things, it's less of an issue.
Yeah, and it even says it has crossplay, so Smite 1 and Smite 2 players are going to be queued together anyways.
Yeah, so not a big deal. Next thing, Golden Sun, The Lost Age are coming to NSO next week. So shout out to that. If you never played Golden Sun, definitely recommend checking that one out. Here's a little something that involves video game properties, but it's not involving a video game directly. There's a little rumor I came across, and I've got some insider information involved in this rumor for anyone curious. The rumor, Universal Orlando is getting Pokemon, Zelda, and Luigi's Mansion. So I do have an insider source on this. Ooh, look at me. Pokemon, so this is the setup for the 3. Pokemon was apparently set to replace like the Simpson area, or at least part of the Simpson area at Universal Studios Florida. Zelda is to replace the Lost Continent, which that one, they've already shut down. I don't remember if it was like a ride or a play. I think it was a play. There was a play over there. They've already shut that play down, and it's permanently gone. They're rebuilding something, right? And then Luigi's Mansion was going to apparently be part of the brand new park Epic Universe. So according to my sources, Zelda's 100% happening. So that's pretty sick. Oh, I messed my mic up. Sorry. Zelda's 100% happening. So that's pretty sick. Does not think Pokemon's going to happen. Luigi's Mansion's probably going to happen. Shout out to that. I'm excited for Epic Universe with the Nintendo World that's set to open next year. I'm really excited to check that out. My same source has been to Nintendo World over in Hollywood, and it was incredible. So I'm excited for these potential additions, or it looks like for sure additions. Zelda coming to Islands of Adventure, though. That is pretty sick. Islands of Adventure is going to have like the superhero area, Jurassic Park, King Kong. It's going to have Hogwarts, and now Zelda 2. That's going to be a good time. That's going to be awesome.
I'm glad we don't have a lot of viewers because I feel like we get copyright striked.
I don't think you get copyright strike for that.
Okay,
Just
we'll
a
find
rumor.
out.
It's a news article. Just shouting out a news article.
Nice.
I don't think there's. I mean, I'm not showing anything on screen. I don't think I can get copyright struck for talking about it.
We'll find out.
I think it'll be fine. Next up, Sandland. That's gonna be releasing April
What is that?
26th. It's the Bandai Namco game from Akira Toriyama's property. It was like a one-shot manga, I think, in 2000. They're making a whole game on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah. So, Silent Hill 2 remake promotion and marketing expect to ramp up very soon via the Bloober Team CEO. Been waiting on this one. This one was confirmed to be coming out this year from that Sony blog post. So, if there is going to be a state of play this month, which is rumored to be coming in a few weeks from Jeff Grubb, I guess we'll start seeing the Silent Hill 2 start ramping up on stuff. This is kind of it's got a lot of heat online. SAG-AFTRA has signed a deal to use for AI use in video games, and they just called it a revolutionary step or a needed step for the future. Got a lot of voice actors pretty pissed, right? And
Yep.
developers pretty pissed, rightfully so. Don't really want the AI content in games, so it's kind of oof. That's gonna be something to watch. That's gonna suck. But hey, we do have an Xbox Developer Direct set for next week on the 18th. It's going to be confirmed Indiana Jones will be there. That was one that I predicted we would not see, but I did say that I thought we could, but I was going to say no, and I'm wrong on that. But Avowed will be there, so shout out to that one. Aria History Untold, Hellblade 2, but nothing Activision Blizzard. So if you're hoping to see something there, it will not be there. But you can finally see Indiana Jones and Avowed, though, so shout out to that. And maybe finally a release date for Hellblade 2. They've shown the game like 86 times and have no release date, so might finally get a release date for it. We'll see. I think it's time. We'll get the release date.
I mean, it would be time, but
It's time, but you never know.
It's pastime.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for the week. Wrap up. You boys got anything?
nada.
Not really.
All right.
Monster World still popping off for like everywhere.
Yeah, true. All right, we're going to hit the music. We're getting out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. It does help. Hope you join us because Power World's coming out. Go check out their Twitter. You can try and win a free Steam key if you like and repost their stuff for the week.
All right. Yeah, if you made it to the end with us, thank you very much. And if you want to see us do this again, we do these typically Saturdays, about 6 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out then.
We'll be back next week, of course, talking about Power World, probably Prince of Persia if I pick it up next Thursday. We'll see. I know for sure I'm playing Power World. It's Game Pass, so why not, right? So next week for sure, we chat about Power World. Again, there we go. I keep hitting the cord. My bad, boys. So yeah, I look forward to that. Make sure to do everything they said and more. So check out Sparky3.com. You can sign up for free, sign up for $5 a month, and we would appreciate that extra support. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Bye.